the long-term aim should be to generate in the extended team what we call a one-team atmosphere. This may be possible, it may not be possible. If it is, it does take a long time. But at least you can do something by getting started in the right way. Great teams have lots of features, but two in particular are that every player works towards a common goal, and there is a level of trust in the team. So at a kick-off meeting, let's say, or a kick-off of a project, get people to talk to each other, to get to know each other, to exchange some personal information, to talk about their different organisations and the way they work differently, and to hammer out a sort of plan for working effectively together. The project manager can achieve this. It's a very practical thing to do, but usually needs a little bit of assistance to make it work. So one of the things I do as a facilitator is to make these kick-offs work and to come out with a set of workable ground rules that will make the team work on an ongoing basis. Plus, also, so during the course of a project, it's a good idea for the team to do a regular sort of health check every so often, and I run these as well on occasion, just to check everything's going okay, and if there's any big spikes in things that people are concerned about, address them at meetings and sort them out and move on. Well, this is a very interesting question. Essentially, a highly functioning team has to have a thorough and disciplined status update process. This means that if things are going reasonably well, each team member needs to give only a short, high-level input at a meeting, let's say, about what is happening in his or her particular function, and the details are saved, let's say, on offline somewhere, which can be looked at if required. Obviously, if things go wrong, then that team member has to have the maturity to raise and escalate the issue in the right way into the meeting. Now, actually, this sounds reasonably straightforward to do, but it's not at all. Usually in a project, there's an enormous amount going on. The project manager's training and background means they do have a capability to look at details, and they can get sucked into looking at far more detail, and so can the whole meeting. So what needs to happen is that the team members need to be developed so that they can give quality input into the system, so that the project manager can trust it and not have to go and bore down into the details. Then the project manager can stick to the sort of leadership issues, but urgent things when they need to come up will come up. And it's one of the most interesting things I do in trying to bring this sort of capability about with a team. The traditional line manager in an organisation, in a hierarchy of some kind, has the direct power to delegate work to people, and of course has the authority to deal with rewards and sanctions and everything like that. For the project manager, he or she is often leading a team of people across different functions, each of which reports up to a line manager, a different line manager. And so the project manager doesn't usually enjoy that sort of direct power I've just mentioned. But what they do have is accountability for the deliverables, for the goals of the project. These are very important, and by using these in discussion, the project manager can legitimately delegate work to people and require the right performance for people because it's necessary to achieve the goals. One of the key development paths for a new or aspiring project manager is to actually be able to operate in this sort of rather uncertain sort of dual leader situation with a level of comfort and confidence. Well, the project manager, a cross-functional team leader, can actually do 3 very practical and achievable things that nicely coincide with 3 things that are well known to be the highest sort of motivators of people at work. The first one generally is affiliation to purpose. I may have said it before, but the project manager can make sure that the goals of the project are clarified, frequently revisited, and understood by everyone in the team. The second highly motivating thing is what people sometimes call mastery, which is basically the opportunity to become an expert in things and do things that are high level. And so the project manager should maintain increasingly high expectations of the input from people and allow them to do their jobs as professionally as possible. The third, and possibly the most motivating one of all, is what we call autonomy. And that is where team members are operating at a level of sophistication. They should be given the opportunity to make decisions about things happening in their own functions as much as possible.